Growth comes from discomfort. Starting over often forces you out of your comfort zone, which can be intimidating, but also leads to personal growth. Facing new challenges builds resilience and helps you discover your true potential. Letting go is liberating. Starting over often requires letting go of what no longer serves you, whether it's a toxic relationship, a dead-end job, or a limiting mindset. Releasing the past frees up space for better things. In this episode, we're going to move on from the old Australian Vivarium and all of the memories that it created, and we're going to welcome in a brand new enclosure and see how all of these frogs and Amzie, the only lizard of the Woods and Forests Media YouTube channel, are doing. I can't wait to focus on the new lenses, the new cameras, the new enclosure, showcasing all of the old faces that make the Woods and Forests Media YouTube channel special. You're looking at Max. She's soon to be 11 years old in 2025, this August. I can't believe the road that Max has been on, from being a very small juvenile White's tree frog in Petco 11 years ago, all the way now to a 135-gallon vivarium. It's safe to say that she's come a long way, and this frog in her 11 years has seen a lot of difficult times, a lot of struggle, but all of that has produced this beautiful moment in time that we have to reflect on all of the wonderful memories that we've had. No, you don't have to worry for this episode. Nobody has passed away. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a leap into luxury for Max, and I wanted to make sure that we had the opportunity to showcase how we started with this enclosure. It took a while to get set up, but once we got all of the parts put together and we got everything in the right place, it was a no-brainer to try to get the frogs into this enclosure as quickly as possible. That's because this enclosure has so much promise and so much optimism. As we start a new year, it's incredible that I have the first time ever an opportunity to start a brand new ecosystem and try to do things the right way, as opposed to all of the problems and mistakes. And even though this enclosure has its flaws, the main thing is it was built with the love and the care and all of the intricate detail that it takes to provide the right enclosure for both Australian species. And it's been nothing short of breathtaking having the opportunity every night to observe this large enclosure and see how these little tree frogs have put all of the space to use. I'm truly floored by this amazing opportunity that I had, and I'm really looking forward to sharing it with you. Look how peaceful Max sleeps. One of the first times in nearly 6 years I saw this tree frog finally become arboreal. If there was anybody deserving of this enclosure, 135 gallons, the second largest enclosure that I currently own, it's Max. As she's been with us through thick and thin, she's been through so many different battles, whether it's going through all of the parasites and the quarantine for about 2 or 3 years, or it was going through the sickness from the parasites, and even surviving all of the horrible plagues that took place with the passing of many frogs and toads for the Woods and Forests Media YouTube channel. But despite all of that, Max has been methodical and steady for all 11 years. She's been one of the most appreciative animals that I've ever had the luxury of keeping and caring for. And I can't wait to showcase her story and even re-welcome her to maybe a new audience and showcase the beauty and naturalistic vivarium that she's finally been gifted. But she's not alone. We, of course, have some of the most incredible stars of this YouTube channel who have yet to be showcased. You're looking at Clarus, a green and golden bell frog, who I got from Josh's Frogs on my birthday nearly 3 years ago. They could very well be some of the very few bell frogs left in the United States. And where they're from in Australia, they're critically endangered. We've covered a lot of the story about the wild bell frogs on the CCH podcast, and you should consider watching that and the story of the bell frogs after this. But I wanted to highlight how incredible this is to see Max, a frog who's over 60 grams, one of the larger White's tree frogs that I've seen, enjoying sleeping up in an arboreal situation alongside the bell frogs. Again, I haven't filmed this in nearly 6 years watching Max get airborne. It's been so rewarding and enjoyable to see how she could finally live in what her naturalistic behavior and tendencies entitled her to do, and that's climb and sleep in the branches. With this much space, it's very easy to see her do this, and it's also very enjoyable to watch. Look how peaceful the bell frogs and Max are sleeping and enjoying this new enclosure. It's safe to say that they welcome the changes, and they seem to be very comfortable in this bigger space. I couldn't even dream of getting this close and this personal with Atlas, Clarus, or any of the bell frogs that live inside here. This enclosure has allowed me to bond with these animals more than I ever have in the 6 or 7 years of creating an Australian vivarium. And although the enclosure doesn't just house Australian plants, as you can see, they're sleeping on a cana plant, which is native to the United States. It's still a remarkable enclosure, and I can't wait for all of the plants and the lush greenery to fill in and build around the branches and little decorations inside this enclosure. I've envisioned for many years that this would be my New York City styled vivarium. Let me explain. I've always had the dream of an enclosure that was active day and night, and you could always see the frogs, and they were always doing something. Not every enclosure has this kind of excitement, but this, I really thought had the opportunity, and now that we have them inside this enclosure, it's very safe to say I can have endless content if I had a live camera or webcam featuring this enclosure. You would see something different and something exciting at every waking moment, because all of these frogs are active day and night now. They really seem to be settling into this enclosure. But enough of the talking and enough of explaining all of the exciting details. One of the best things about this enclosure is we've had the opportunity to showcase incredible scenes, whether it's pictures or the security camera footage that we've been able to capture on other enclosures finally made its way and integrated into the Australian Vivarium. So take a look at a lot of the cool pictures that we've captured with the new camera and the amazing security camera footage showcasing some of the activity as we enjoy the Australian Vivarium. This is a new chapter of transformation, growth, and adventure for these iconic Australian frogs. Let me know what your thoughts are on all of the new gear and the new enclosure. Honestly guys, it feels like we're having a renaissance at the Woods and Forests media community because all of the animals have been getting these incredible upgrades to their enclosures. All of the little details that don't make it into the videos. And now we have new technology, new camera lenses, and all kinds of new capabilities. I'm really thinking that the Australian Vivarium is going to give the PA Woods Vivarium a run for its money. Let me know if you guys are interested in that kind of content focusing on individual frogs and even following specific storylines inside this enclosure. I have a good feeling that it's going to come anyway. Just sitting back and enjoying this enclosure has become one of my favorite pastimes, and I can't say enough how incredible it's been. Now that I have the chance to even include audio enrichment. You're listening to audio that I've found on the internet and mixed and mashed together that showcases Australian sounds inside a woodland where these frogs would be from. I have spared no expense and threw all the money that I could at these guys to make sure that they have, finally, the type of life that I've envisioned for them all along. As you've all seen over the past few years, all of the tragedy and the trials and the challenges that we've went through, I wanted to conclude this episode with two different things to remind you. Clarity comes through action. You don't have to have everything figured out to start anew. And failure is a stepping stone. Starting over after a setback is a reminder that failure isn't the end. It's a lesson. Each attempt can bring you closer to success. As we heard from the wise words of Jeremiah, every ending is a new beginning. This is a new chapter for the Australian Vivarium and all of the Australian frogs. I can't wait to get even more up close and personal with every frog in this enclosure and showcase some unbelievable and incredible scenes as their lives unfold in front of us. This is a new year. It's the start of a new chapter and a new beginning. I just wanted to encourage everybody to keep going. It's a fresh start. With that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next Wild Vivariums episode. Thanks.